Hello family and friends. I am going to be working on a New Year's wreath and I'm going to do it all in black and gold. That's going to be my theme for New Year's this year. Can you see? I'm going to fold it in half over the one ring. Then I'm going to come back around this piece here, and then I'm going to twist it. And now it can't go anywhere. See, this one can slide. However, if I take my pipe cleaner and come under on the other side, so I've got one on this side of this support and one on this side of the support, and then when I twist it, now it can't go anywhere. I'm going to, this is called, I guess, a poof wreath. So I'm going to gather up the end, and I'm starting on the bottom, and I'm going to zip tie this, and I want to zip tie it to this support because I don't want it to slide. Zip it up real tight and cut off the excess. Now we're on our way. Now the next step, and I'm going to use the wreath to measure. So I'm going to take my mesh, and I'm going to measure to the second, if you can see that. Here's the first, here's the second. I'm going to measure to that point, and then I'm coming back to the first one, and that's going to give you your poof. And I'm just going to twist it with the pipe cleaners a couple times to hold it in place. And that's going to give us our poof. I'm going to do that going all the way around. Now again, here's your one pipe cleaner that you're going to tie off, but you're going to measure to the second one. So I'm going to take my mesh, measure to here, come back, and tie it off. And then just open up my poof. You'll see it as it starts to come around. So here's where I'm going to tie it off, but I'm going to measure it to this point. So I'm taking my mesh, measuring to that one, come back to this one, and then tie it off. And as I do each one, I just kind of open them up so I can take care of them as I go along rather than trying to do them all at once when you've started building up the bulk of the wreath. And here we go. This is where I'm going to tie it off. With this one here, you can see the black paint from painting. Anyway, I'm going to tie it off here, but I'm going to measure to here. I fold the ends in when I'm doing this. So I'm going to measure to this point and come back here I'm going to skip where I'm going to tie it off, and I'm going to measure to this point and then come back. Now I'm not going to cut this off. I'm just going to step up to the middle and keep going, doing the very same thing. Okay. So now I am going to zip tie it right here. Again, on the inside, I'm still doing the same thing. I'm going to be using this support, and it just helps to hold things in place so things don't shift. So now I'm going to do the very same thing. I'm going to tie it off here where I started. I'm going to tie it off here. And now I'm going to tie it off here. So I want to measure to here. You're going to measure skipping one and then come back. Measure and come back and tie it off. And open up your poof. And then when you add your ribbons, it'll start to fill in and look really pretty. Okay, so once again, I'm going to use a zip tie, so I'm pulling it out now. Okay. So here's where I'm going to tie it off. So I'm going to measure to here. So stretch it out, come back, tie it off. And then open up your poof. All right, this is our foundation. Now I'm going to make the numbers that are going to go on the wine bottle, and actually the New Year's wreath that I'm going to make as well. And I just printed this out of regular paper and in a large enough letter that would go for the bottles, and this is actually the bigger size for the wreath. So I'm just going old school because I can. And I'm going to trace the numbers onto foam board and then cut them out. And let's just get this done. Now all I have to do is cut them out. And I use my X-Acto knife for this. It just seemed to make it easier. And what I'm going to do, I have this nice little kit. It's got all these different blades. I really like this. I've used it quite a bit. So I'm going to split this board in half and separate the letters. And make it a much easier task. get rid of the excess here. I'm just going down along the back where the crease ended up. Let me cut this numbers apart. And I don't know if you can see, but the crease that's created when I folded it, I just follow along that with my X-Acto knife, and it splits it really easily. So if I had a scroll saw, I think I would cut these out of wood. That would be really cool. In the future. Toby likes working with wood, and I like doing anything. And I think it'd be fun to do some more projects with her. My daughter is not so much the crafter as she is the gardener. And we've got some projects coming up with her that are going to be fun. Let's see how I did. This corner very well. My first two. So the next step, I'm going to clean up the edges a little bit, and then I'm going to spray paint them gold, and I'll show you what that is. Okay, I'm getting ready to paint my numbers for my wreath. I'm using the Rust-Oleum metallic finish, and this is a shiny gold. So Anyhow, I'm going to just start getting them all sprayed. So we'll let that dry. And then the next step will be to put glitter on them. I'm going to work on the numbers one at a time to glitter them. And I'm going to use this Elmer's spray adhesive. And I put parchment paper over top of my Lazy Susan so it won't get all sticky with the adhesive. So I'm just going to put the adhesive on here. Make sure it's got a good coat on it. And then I'm going to take my glitter that I put in a platter, just lay it in there and let it cover it. Looks like I got a couple spots I missed. And there you go. And that's what it looks like. Pretty cool, huh? I got them at Walmart. This was 24 karat and this was a champagne. Well, needless to say, they are very different looking, so I just mixed them all together and it worked. So, because I wouldn't have had enough of the 24 karat to do all four numbers. So don't be afraid to mix your glitter. It works. Okay, so I'm going to start covering the edge of the numbers with this trim that I have, and I have it in several different widths. This one's got 3 widths. This one's got I don't know how many, and I have it even wider, but I cut it down to a single strip like this right here, and I'm going to glue it around the edge of the number using my hot glue gun, and it'll just give it a little bit more of a finished look. Okay, so here's what it looks like with one done, and you can see how it's got a finish to it, and of course it's for New Year's, so the more glitter the better. Now I just need to finish the rest of the letters. There we are. They've all got their trim and they're ready for the wreath. Next step. So you can see that my first gold mesh and the ribbon I put on was the one with the gold stripe. So above and to the right, I did the chevron stripe, and I will be alternating it. So this one will have the stripe, this top one, and this bottom one. They both have stripes. So let me get the gold mesh in place. And again, I start by, it wants to just roll up automatically, but I just start by gathering it all up, and I try to keep it to the middle. I'll watch my stripes, and when I get to the end, I just keep the raw edges to the underside because they tend to snag on everything. So again, I'm going to do this top one, I think, first. And I'm going to attach my gold mesh. And then I want my black ribbon, and I do the exact same thing. Just gather it up, and I'm going along the middle gold stripe here and keeping the raw edges underneath. Actually, that's not what I do. Sorry. I roll it up again using the the center gold stripe, and I just roll it up nice and tight so it makes a tube. That's what I want, is the tube. And then I'm going to grab my wide polka dot ribbon, and then I'm going to add my skinny chevron ribbon. I'm going to find the center, and then scrunch it up, and I'm going to put it in the middle of the gold. And I'm just going to twist it off about 3 times. It gets a nice hold on it. And then I need to trim the ends so I have my dovetails. There we go. Just gives a nice little finish. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to do the bottom outside, and I'm going to start with the gold. And the gold is the one that I scrunch, keeping the raw edges to the inside, and then try and follow along to the best of your ability the center line. And then when you get to the end, just kind of tuck that other raw end under. Add it to your pipe cleaner. And now, as you can see, I have a chevron here and a chevron here. So with this one, I'm going to want to use the black and gold stripe. Here again, I'm just going to roll up, following down the center gold, my black polka dot, and what did I say? I said the stripe. Find the center, scrunch it up, and then add this on top of that gold. Twist it down nice and tight. Cut your chevron or your dovetail ends. And there we go. Nice. You can leave my trash can over here, but you can see how the gold is really starting to lighten up the darkness. show you what I'm going to do next. I'm going to hot glue the ornaments, but I'm going to attach the year on fishing line because I don't want to glue the year on this wreath, because I might want to use the wreath for something else. And this is our New Year's wreath. So till next time, make it a gorgeous day every day. Bye.